Hello salty friends, it's Levon from Salty Cures, and in today's video we're on a hike getting bit by mosquitoes, but we're going to talk about a little habit that most of us do. Either we do it in the positive or we don't do it in the negative, and this one habit is likely the big key to you getting anything accomplished in life and doing it in a quicker, more efficient way, which is what everybody wants, right, when it comes to their goals. So we're going to talk about that habit today. Let's go for a hike. So, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's this amazing documentary series that's come out recently on ESPN called The Last Dance. And this docuseries follows the last season of the World Champion Chicago Bulls of the NBA in 1997-98. And it also, of course, documents all of Michael Jordan's career accomplishments and experiences, as well as a lot of his teammates in the organization along the way leading up to that point. And I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of studying people who are high achievers, who have done a lot in their lives or in their careers, and trying to figure out what lessons can be learned and applied to myself and how to make myself better as well. And trust me, if you haven't seen this docuseries yet, you need to, because it's amazing. It's very entertaining and just fascinating to watch. But like I said, there's also lots and lots of things that you can pull from it that'll help you in your fitness journey and in general just becoming a better person in life by applying certain principles. And we're going to talk about one of those today. So one of the lessons that I got from this that was touched upon often was the way that Michael Jordan himself would approach every season, every month, every game, even every play. And that was this idea that he was always present. You know, there was an author, several authors actually, that were interviewed throughout the course of this docuseries, and obviously they had a lot of close personal insights from time that they spent with Michael Jordan, and that's one thing that kept being repeated over and over. And he was always there in the moment, not thinking about what may have happened in the past, not thinking about what is coming up in the future. And you know, he'd get asked the question sometimes, well, what if you miss that shot? Or what if you guys lose this game? Then what comes next? And it was said that he always thought that that was kind of a silly way to think. And he asked himself, or he said all the time, why am I going to worry about a shot that I haven't even taken yet? And so he would always have this approach to whatever was in front of him, whatever he had to do at that moment. That's where he poured all of his energy and obviously his skill and talent and everything that resulted from his hard work into that moment so that he could maximize the most out of that moment. And unlike a lot of people, he never ever allowed the thought of failure to get into his head, especially as it related to things that were out of his control. And I think for the average everyday Joe like you and me who are trying to get in shape or get a promotion at work or just build some skill or improve our lives in any way, I think that's a big separator between those who do and those who do not achieve. That is, allowing things to come into your head that cause you to think about failure. And a lot of those things obviously are things that are out of your control, at least if they're not in the moment. Really, if you think about it, anything that's not happening in this current moment right now is in fact out of your control for the moment. So that's something to think about when you start to allow these thoughts into your head that cause you to feel discouraged and worry about whether or not you're going to accomplish the thing that you want. So what are we talking about here? This is basically the habit that I alluded to at the beginning of this video, and we call it being present. I'm sure you've heard that expression before. Being present with whatever it is you're doing, whoever you're with. And this term being present really is a semi-recent, semi-sophisticated way of saying a more basic term, which is to have focus. And this is really what it's all about, is having focus. Now, a lot of you will say, well, I struggle with focus because of this or because of that. We're going to talk about how you can maybe approach the start of improving your focus, but more so why this focus is so important to accomplishing any of your goals. Now, before you click off of this video, I realize that statement I just made, oh, focus is important to achieving your goals, may be the most Captain Obvious statement in the history of Captain Obvious statements ever made. But bear with me a little bit and let's look at this in a nuanced way and all the little intricacies of how this might play out in your daily life. Take, for example, completing a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, I love puzzles. I don't know about you, but I love doing them. They give me a sense of accomplishment. But there's a very interesting thing that happens in doing a puzzle like that. If you just walk past it every once in a while, and maybe sit there for a few minutes and try to figure out a puzzle, especially if it's a more challenging one, like 1,000 or more pieces, you're gonna struggle, right? If you sit there for even a few minutes and a while and start to look at it and get frustrated and walk away and come back, it's not gonna happen for you, at least not anytime soon. And anybody who does puzzles on a regular basis will tell you that they love doing it because of the focus it creates within them, and they just get wrapped up into it and they'll stay at it sometimes for days and trying to accomplish the puzzle. Whereas somebody who comes back and forth to it, there's no continuity. You kind of lose track of what pieces fit where and what colors belong in what part of the puzzle. There's, like I said, no continuity. Approaching your goals in life that way is the same way. If you just focus on it every once in a while or not at all, and you come back and forth to it, there's no continuity there and you don't really get anywhere, at least not quickly. Now, could you get there eventually? Just like creating a puzzle, finishing a puzzle, I should say? Yeah, eventually. But are any of us in the business of taking forever to get to our fitness goals? I don't think so. A lot of our videos we talk about here center on ideas of efficiency, and this is one way of creating that efficiency for yourself and achieving those goals for yourself as quickly as possible, by having focus and being laser focused on what it is you're trying to accomplish. Now, in general terms, some of you might be thinking, yeah, well, I'm good at multitasking. I'm here to declare war on multitasking, people, because there is no such thing. Can you be involved in multiple tasks at one time? Sure. Are you going to be mastering any one of those tasks at a given time if you're doing lots of them? No. At least not as much mastery is going to happen as somebody who's focusing, like Michael Jordan, who's in the moment, focusing on one task in that moment. There's no possible way that you can get around that. It's just a fact that focus on one thing and putting all of your energy and effort into that thing is going to be something that yields far quicker and more thorough results for you than being multitasking in your approach. So what are some of the ways which we are not present and not focused? I don't think I have to remind you of them. If you're really honest with yourself, you know what they are. Whether that's, if you're like me, like I was the other day working out, sitting there in quarantine thinking I need to have something playing in the background, such as a movie to keep me going. But what inevitably happens is those rest periods between sets get longer and longer, decreasing the effect of my workout because I'm sitting there being distracted by the movie. What would be the better approach? To ask myself, am I here to watch a movie or am I here to work out? Obviously the answer to that is I'm here to work out. Focus on the workout. How about with relationships? We all know that nobody likes to not be listened to and be paid attention to, right? Whether that's a significant other or a child, or if you're the child and you're talking about your parent, nobody likes to feel like they're not being paid attention to and listened to. And I think we all know when this is happening and that we need to do something better about it, but for whatever reason, oftentimes we don't. So these are just a couple of examples of many that I'm sure we could figure out happen on a day-to-day basis where we could be more present than we currently are in every situation, and in doing so we'll get more out of that situation, more joy, more benefit, more happiness, and obviously more fitness. So guys, whether you're out for a run or on the treadmill or you've got a pair of weights in your hand, be there, be in that moment, working on that thing and nothing else. If you're in the presence of a loved one, pay attention, be there, don't be anywhere else. Now, this obviously begs the question which we touched upon earlier. If you struggle with focus, how to get better, right? How do I get better at this thing that I struggle with? And again, I'm not going to go into a deep dive in this. Frankly, that might be a question better answered by somebody more qualified than I am in terms of the deep strategies you may need to tackle to get better at focus. However, I will say this. There's a favorite quote I love that says, the only real control in life is self-control. And so the only thing you really can do, even if you do go get some therapy or have some help from medications, the only thing you can really do when it comes down to it in being more focused is to change your thoughts, change your approach, change the exertion that you exert, if you will, on being more focused. So I think that's a good starting place for just about all of us every single day. A restarting place, maybe you could call it better. Because every single day we're tested, right, with opportunities to become better focused and channel more of our energy, or all of our energy, I should say, into whatever it is going on in that moment. So start there, remind yourself constantly, and you'll get better and better at this over time. Promise. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for coming along on this hike. For me, it was the first time outside in a couple of weeks because I've been on the mainland, just came back from the mainland, had to do my required state of Hawaii 14-day quarantine, which is stupid in my opinion, but whatever, I did it, so I'm back outside and it feels great. If you liked some of the principles and concepts that we talked about today, you can find lots more here on the channel, kind of along those same lines, so please be sure to subscribe and watch more videos here. And if you'd like even more of that in a more personalized fashion to help you with your various fitness goals that you have, I have lots of fitness coaching options available for you, ranging from the basic to the elite, high-level, personalized fitness coaching that is really laser targeted and focused on helping you become the best that you can be and achieve all of your fitness goals. Talk to you soon, guys, and I'll see you on the next adventure outside. Aloha.